Okay, can the people on Zoom hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I had technical difficulties. It was letting me join, but I couldn't get my camera or microphone to work, so I'm all set now. Court's on the record, May 27th of 2021. For the people on Zoom, I need you to mute your device until I tell you or call your case, okay? So put your devices on mute. If you have not yet watched the video advisement and this is your first appearance, please watch it now. That way you're ready to go when I call your case. If you, when you signed up, it gave you a link to the advisement. If you no longer have that email, you can sign up by going to www.c.gov.com/court, and that should get you to the court website. And then there's a video link to me giving you a video advisement. So again, it's mandatory that you all watch that before I call your case. I'm going on the record now in case number EM 695 regarding James Romero. Is James Romero present in the courtroom? Okay, he's not present in the courtroom. Good afternoon, Ms. Van Auken.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I received the motion to withdraw, and the allegation is that you haven't been able to make contact with your client. I don't see him on our list of people on video. Have you had any communication with him recently?
No, unfortunately, I haven't, Your Honor. It's an odd situation. He retained us. We filed our motion to set aside. I communicated with Mr. Golan about the case. I repeatedly tried to get a hold of my client, email, his telephone. It just ring. I'm sorry, it's a busy signal every time we call. So I'm not really sure what happened with him. I know he wants to resolve it, but I don't know how to get a hold of him.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I actually had vacated the default yet, or if today was the day for him to appear so that we could vacate the default. No, it doesn't look like I had vacated the default. All right, I'm going to grant your motion to withdraw. The default that entered on April 15th of 2012 remains in full force and effect, and that doesn't prejudice his right to file another motion to set aside the default. I'll simply note your appearance, his failure to appear, and that the court denied the motion to withdraw or to vacate the default without prejudice. Okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're free to leave the meeting. I think I need to enter this as an ROA. Should I just enter this as a text?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because really I'm not changing any rulings.
Yeah. And then we'll just scan that and call it good.
Okay. Eric Martinez, if you would approach station 1, please. I'm sorry, I already called Romero. Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Martinez. Yeah, it was Kerry Vanaken was the attorney. All right, Mr. Martinez, I have a document that indicates that you're agreeing to plead guilty to the charge of unlawful possession of marijuana from March 28th of 2021 at about 7:30 in the evening in the area of 10020 Joplin Street here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right, I need to go over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of this charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? All right, now the city attorney indicates that he reviewed the elements of the charge. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this. Did you review those elements with you? All right. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Okay, I'm going to go through more of the rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you? You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then, as to the charge of unlawful possession of marijuana on March 26th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should consider before I impose the sentence against you? All right. According to my notes, you've done the diversion class already. Is that correct? Okay. Didn't they tell you what the legal age in Colorado is to possess or to smoke marijuana? And what is that? And how old are you? See why there's a problem there? All right.
Mr. Starkovich, can you join breakout room 4?
Carmen, I need to be put in breakout room 4 also.
Okay.
Number.
All right. I'm going to impose a fine against you. I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted me to consider before I impose the sentence against you? All right, I'm going to impose a fine this time of $100 surcharges and food costs. If you appear in front of me again, before you reach 21 for this type of offense, I'm going to punish you.
Go move him. He was just in there. I need,
Punish you.
because they keep connect to number 1, so I had to move him.
Yes, sir. Just like an underage possession of alcohol. If everything, you got one, I mean, the first one was discussed because you did diversion. Now you're just imposing a fine. The next one, you're right. Okay? Any questions? This. Go to the windows, see my purpose.
what it was because I needed to because he's in here.
I'm getting you.
was not on mute.
Okay. Giovanni Morales Sanchez, if you would come to station number 2, please. Good afternoon. Right, I have a document that indicates that it's alleged that on March 12th of 2021 at about 9:15 at night, from there at 5990 Dahlia Street, the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? Okay, city attorney said that he reviewed the elements with you. That is, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you? I'm sorry? That's not what I'm asking you, sir. Did the city attorney go over these elements? Okay, because it doesn't look like you're being asked to enter a plea today. What it says is that if you agree to have this case set over for a new court date, between now and the next court date, if you complete a petty theft class, 16 hours of community service, agree not to the return to the Walmart, and commit no new law violations, when you come back, if everything is in order, I can dismiss this case. Is that how you wish to resolve your case? Okay, give me just a moment. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Army? Okay. And did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right. Okay, so when you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to give you a new court date. It's going to be in about 6 weeks. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. They're going to give you a referral to the people that put on the class. It's important that you contact those people right away so you can get the class scheduled and finished before the next court date. When you finish, they'll give you a certificate of completion. Bring that back with you. My clerks will give you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not need to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place you pick to do it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. I won't accept it if you simply do free work for friends, neighbors, relatives, or for a for-profit business. So make sure the place that you pick is a nonprofit. You know, if you go to a church, do it at your church. Your kids in school, do it at their school. Meals on Wheels, food banks, animal shelters. It doesn't matter to me what place you pick, except that it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the work, have them fill out the form, bring that back with you. And then the rest of this is really easy. Stay out of the Walmart and don't pick up any new cases. If everything is in order when you come back on the next court date, I dismiss this case. Do you have any questions? Okay, go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerk. Okay, Yenisar Escobar-Villa, if you would come to the lectern, station number 3 in the middle. Good afternoon. All right, in your case, I have a document that alleges that on March 12th of 2021, at about almost 10:30 in the evening, in the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what you're accused of doing? All right. The city attorney is offering you the same thing. If you do a petty theft class, 16 hours of use of public service, stay out of the Walmart and commit no new law violations, If everything is in order when you come back, I can dismiss this case. Is this how you wish to resolve your case? Okay, I have to ask a bunch of questions. One, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay, are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Yes, are you a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Have you ever been in the United States Air Force, Army, Marines, Coast Guard? Okay. The city attorney said that he reviewed the rights that you have with you and explained the elements of the charge. In other words, what he would have to prove for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those things with you? Okay. When you go to the windows, my clerks are going to give you the notice of the new court date. It's going to be out about 6 weeks, so you have plenty of time to get everything done. Also, they're going to give you the referral to the people that put on the petty theft class. It's important that you do this right away. Contact them, get it scheduled, get the class done as quickly as you can. When you come back to court, bring the certificate of completion. My clerks are going to give you the form for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement is that you must do it at a legitimate nonprofit agency, okay? Do the work, have them fill out the form, bring that back with you. Then stay out of the Walmart. Don't get into any new trouble. If everything is okay when you come back, I'll dismiss the case. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the window to see my clerk. Mr. Cobbin, could I get you to mute your device, please?
Oh, I thought it was. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Edna Sherman, if I could get you to unmute your device, please.
Hello.
Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to committing the offense of theft on March 8th of 2021, shortly before 7 o'clock in the evening from the area 5990 Dahlia Street, the city attorney will dismiss the remaining trespass charge from that date and time. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes,
Okay, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
I did.
All right, the city attorney said that he went over the elements of both of the original charges against you so that you would understand what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of either one of these charges. Did he review those elements with you?
I'm sorry.
Did he review the elements with you of the
Yes.
trespass charge as well as the theft charge? Okay. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No.
All right, I need to go over some of these rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge of theft, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
I do.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of both of the original charges unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
I do.
You're waiving your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses the city attorney would call in support of these original charges against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of this original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights?
I do.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
And to the charge of theft on March 8th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with the full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Now, I'm looking at your criminal history and I'm curious. I don't see the length of parole from your last sentence. Are you still on parole?
I'm not. It was terminated. Well, the end of it, they terminated it early, but the end of it was 1 year and it was April 29th, but it was terminated early.
Okay, so the technical termination date was basically last month. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because this violation occurred before your parole terminated.
Yeah, it was actually terminated early though.
Okay, I just want to make sure because this could be the basis of having your parole revoked. Do you understand
I
that?
know. Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, so long as you understand that, I'll go ahead and go forward. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, just stupidity at its finest, I guess.
Are you working?
Currently I'm not. My husband's having heart surgery. Actually, he just got taken back right now. I was trying to make it back there before, but anyways, I'm not. I'm taking care of him right now.
Well, to be quite candid with you, somebody with your criminal history, I would normally be giving you a jail sentence. But the value isn't that much. The nature of the case doesn't warrant a jail sentence. Here's what I'm going to do. I want you to listen very carefully to it. I'm going to impose a fine of $100 plus surcharges and court costs. And I understand this might prove to be a financial hardship to you, but it's less of a hardship than if I send you to jail. I'm going to impose and suspend all of a 30-day jail sentence. The entire jail sentence is suspended on the following conditions. One, you need to pay your fines and costs. Two, I'm going to order that you're to do 24 hours of use of public service at any nonprofit organization of your choice. Three, I'm ordering you never to go back into the Walmart store in Commerce City for any reason whatsoever. You're completely banned from that store, trespassed from that store. Four,
Okay.
you commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations for a period of 1 year. Okay, so when you leave this meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you. They'll tell you what the total is of the fines and costs. If you need them to work out a payment plan for you, let them know that and they'll work one out for you. If at any time you find that you're not able to make a payment when it is due, it's your responsibility to contact me on or before the due date and ask for an extension. That's all I'm going to grant you is extensions. I'm not going to waive it since I'm not sending you to jail. So make sure you find a way to come up with the money to pay the fines and costs. And again, my clerks will work out a payment plan for you. They'll send you the form for the community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't need to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you pick to do it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. So find someplace convenient to you. Make sure that's a nonprofit, do the community service, have them fill out the form, turn it in by the deadline my clerks give you. Again, if you're caring for your husband and you find yourself running out of time, don't wait until it's too late. Before the deadline, contact me and ask for an extension for more time to do the community service. I'm going to grant it to you. I'm making notes already. All right, so make sure that you get it done as much as you can. If you need more time, you have to ask for it. And then the rest is easy. Stay out of the Walmart and stay out of trouble and you stay out of jail. Any questions?
No.
Okay, my clerks will reach out to you by email either later today or tomorrow with all of this information. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. How do I get out of here?
There should be a red button that says leave the meeting or something.
Okay, thank you.
Have you cleaned the stations? I haven't even noticed. Okay, I'll do this one. Oneida Leal, if you will unmute your device, please.
Danila?
I'm sorry?
Did you say Danila?
No, I didn't. I said Oneida Leal.
We're here.
Okay, so let me see if I can see you. Okay, I need you to go ahead and say something so you pop up on my big screen.
Hi.
Yeah, for some reason you're not
You see me
popping
now?
up. Give me a second. There, I can see you now. All right, now let me pull up the file.
Come on, Chip.
Mr. Starkovich, could you put your device on mute, please? All right, Ms. Leal, let's see. I must not be looking at the right case. Give me a moment. Nope, that's yours. No, city attorney's electing to dismiss this case against you, Ms. Leal. Do you have a parent there with you?
Yeah, right
Yes.
here, right behind
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah, for some reason, when you talk,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not,
right here.
yeah, I can sort of see you now. I see your hand up. There we go. Now I got you. All right. And are you her father?
Yeah, I'm her dad.
Okay, the city attorney's dismissing
Yes.
the case against her. I'm going to enter the order of dismissal. Because of her age at the time of the commission of this offense, it's going to be expunged from her record as well. So my clerks will reach out to you by email either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Give you a copy of the order of dismissal. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you can
Thank
leave the
you.
meeting. Thank you. Also on top of it, they hear or it's not?
Here.
Okay.
Zoom. Yeah.
Okay, now Danila Sanchez, if you would unmute your device.
Hello.
Hello. It took me a minute to read through all of the emails and stuff.
I've been trying to get, I mean, I included everything I could, everything I have. Vicky told me that they won't allow her to write you any kind of letter. My note was supposed to say judge, not just. I finally got so frustrated that I reached out to the owner, the CEO of IDEA, and that just ended up being more of a runaround. And I don't feel like I'm being treated fairly, like at all, just because I'm trying to question, like I should be done with these classes. By the numbers they gave me, I've already done, including Monday's class, it would be like +3. And they say in there that there's a reason why I'm not getting credit because they don't have the DRS, but then they sent a DRS. I'm confused. So if I end up just doing another 4 extra classes to equal 8 extra classes total, then I guess so be it. But I've been doing these classes for so long. And then when I found out that their numbers were messed up and they didn't have paperwork, it's upsetting to me.
Don't you have to pay each time you go and get a receipt?
Well, so I have Medicaid, so it's paid for by therapy, and we've been on Zoom since COVID.
Mhm.
And Set Apart Treatment Center is no longer a treatment center. So I guess that's why they had to contact OVH, and they just keep telling me they don't have an update. And I've tried to get my counselor, who is amazing, to send you some kind of letter like Jericho did previously, but they told her that she couldn't. I don't know if that's because they're upset because I'm causing so much ruckus right now trying to get the information I need. But I'm telling you, I'm going to all my classes. Like I'm trying to get these over with. And the owner wouldn't even like listen to anything I said. She just told me, all I'm going to give you is facts. I don't care to hear it. Bye. And then hung up on me twice.
The problem is that this thing from Ms. Pace doesn't seem to be dated other than the facts from this earlier today. In other words, I don't know.
The date for what? I can pull them up on my email and give you the dates.
The email response you got from Miss Marcella Pauls or Pays, I can't.
Please, that was 3 days ago. Sorry if my camera goes off. I can give you the exact date. That email was May 24th. That was when I got a response from her. And then I physically went down there on last Wednesday. I spoke to them on Tuesday because me and Vicky have been trying to figure it out too, my counselor. So I had to find a ride down there. I live in Northland. They're down in Denver. The girl told me that Myra was going to be there, and then she wasn't there. And then I sat there for like an hour and a half with my ride outside waiting for some kind of information, got nothing. And then I went over like the numbers with them, like right in front of the girl Nancy with Myra on speakerphone when she finally decided to talk to me. And none of it makes sense to me. And as much as I try to voice that to them, it's like, it's not their livelihood, so they just don't care.
Well, according to her, they don't have anything to demonstrate that you've completed the therapy.
Exactly, and that's why they're waiting on this letter from OBH. but I still have nothing. And so she also says that I just have to complete the other 5 classes, which I did 1 on Monday, so I guess that knocks me down to 4.
And you're doing them what, once a week?
Yeah, I'm only allowed to do them once a week because I'm a self-referral.
Right. Well, are they going to give you something to show you when you have finished it?
Yeah, they'll give me discharge paperwork, but I mean, this could have been done at our last court date. That's why, like, I'm doing classes that I shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't still be in these classes. But I am, so
Yeah, the problem is though, I'm even looking through everything you gave me. There isn't anything that you've given me that proves to me that you've done all the classes you're required to do. I'm sure your probation officer is saying the same thing out of this 2016 case.
I don't have a probation officer. I'm not on probation.
No, you did when this all started.
I did, yes.
Right, because it was an unsuccessful termination in that 2016 case. That's why all I've wanted you to do from the beginning is get all of this done.
The classes.
So why don't I set it over for another 5 weeks? That'll give you a chance to get the last 4 cases or classes done. And then you can send me the discharge, the final discharge paperwork, okay? All right, so let's see, today is the 27th of May. We're gonna go to we'll go to July 22nd. That way, in case there's problems getting the paperwork again, because obviously it looks like they're not very cooperative. So we'll reset this for another sentence review, July 20, what did I just say? July 22nd at 1:30. And you can do it by Zoom, but do the same thing. Get this information to me before that. I'm hoping it's the final discharge paperwork,
Me
okay?
too.
All right, thank you.
And then if they get something from Set Apart that says that I've already completed all this, then I'm just gonna send that to you.
Perfect,
And I
exactly.
won't have to appear in July.
Correct,
Okay.
okay?
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Good afternoon, Ms. Boland. If you would go ahead and unmute your device. Reports on the record regarding Stephen Robinson, case number EM 1656.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the case, Your Honor. Kate Boland appearing on behalf of Mr. Robinson.
And could you let me have your registration number, Ms. Boland?
16492.
And is Mr. Robinson joining us, or are you waiving his appearance?
I'm waiving his appearance.
All right. The proposed disposition I have is, if on behalf of Mr. Robinson, you tender a plea of guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original careless driving charge. Is that your understanding of the proposed disposition?
Yes, it is.
And you're representing to the court that you have your client's authority to enter this plea on his behalf
Yes, I do.
and waiving his appearance pursuant to 167202. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, then I will accept the proposed disposition on behalf of Mr. Robinson then to the charge of driving a defective vehicle on April 1st of 2021 at 10:26 in the morning in the area of 58th Avenue and Holly Street here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept a guilty plea. Anything by way of mitigation?
Your Honor, my client is very regretful that this happened. He was a bit lost and made a mistake. He immediately took a defensive driving class through AARP and has been reluctantly getting back on the road in a very safe manner, as he describes it. So his apologies to the citizens of Commerce City.
Thank you. Need to look at his driving record. Give me just a second. All right, there's nothing in aggravation on his driving record. The accident itself was fairly aggravated.
Yeah.
So the vehicle rolled and he did not get injured? Is that a correct statement?
That's correct. That is correct, Your Honor. His car rolled. He wasn't injured. The driver of the other car wasn't injured either.
Okay, that's good.
Really
All right.
lucky. Mhm.
Right, his scheduled fine's $200. Again, there's nothing in aggravation on his driving record. I have to give him an aggravated fine because of the nature of the accident itself. I'm going to reduce it from $200 down to $120, plus surcharges, plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email, provide you a stay of execution. And if your client needs to set up a payment plan, my clerks can arrange that. Is there anything else I need to address on Mr. Robinson's case?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, it's good to see you, Ms. Mullin.
Good to
Take care.
see you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. You can go ahead and leave the meeting. Did you or Alma take care of that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call this one. Itzel Gonzalez Campos. You would come to station number 1, please. I'm sorry? Yeah, it'll be the next one. The city attorney's agreed to dismiss this case against you. There are no remaining issues to be addressed. When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal. No, I can't seal it because it's got a traffic ticket on it, charge on it. Okay, so it'll just be dismissed. If you go to the windows, see my clerks, they'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal and then you are free to leave, okay? Uh-huh. Mr. Zarlingo, if you would come up to station number 2. All right, court's on the record regarding Lena Holman. Is that who you're here on, Mr. Zarlingo? This is a court-appointed case. All right, and again, just for the record, your registration number? All right. This matter was scheduled for 1:15 on today's date. I'll note that it's already 2:20. Counsel has appeared, the defendant has failed to appear. Warrant will issue for her arrest. Bond is going to be set in the amount of $300. It's still a personal recognizance bond based on the current status of the jail and COVID. You'll be contacted upon her apprehension, and at that time you can decide whether or not you wish to continue the representation or have me appoint alternate counsel for her. Is this the only one you have today?
No, I have one.
Okay, give me just a moment. Let me set this one aside. Oops. All right, on the record regarding Damon Scott. Mr. Scott, if you would unmute your device. Mr. Scott. If you would unmute your device, please. Should be a button on the bottom right of, or the bottom of your screen. I can see him moving around, but I can't hear him. Mr. Scott, can you unmute your device, please? There might be something that looks like a little microphone. There you go. Well, you had it a second ago. Okay, there you are.
Okay, you there?
Yep. Are you on the bus or something? Mr. Scott? Are you on a train or on a bus or something? Yes, Mr. Scott, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hold on.
I think he's
I
on the
can't
bus.
hear for some reason. So let me see. Hold on.
No, you just muted yourself again. There, you're good. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, good. Okay, you muted yourself again.
Hold on.
Good. You're good. Can you hear me? Nod or shake your head.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, he can't hear me, Mr. Zarlingo. You're going to need to reach out to him later because it looks like the city's just withdrawing the motion to revoke the deferred judgment and sentence. Is that your understanding? Yes, the people are withdrawing the motion, so his deferred judgment and sentence remains in effect until September of this year. You might check because there may be outstanding warrant fees, and if there are, my clerks will email you as well as him to make arrangements to get that paid, okay? All right, anything else I need to address? I'll let you reach out to Mr. Scott. He looks like he's on either a bus or the train or something.
Okay, I'm back. I can hear you guys now.
Can you? Okay. The city attorney has withdrawn the motion to withdraw or to revoke the deferred judgment and sentence. I don't know if there's outstanding warrant fees still owed. If there are, my clerks will email your attorney about that. But for right now, you're still on the deferred judgment until September, okay?
Okay.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Are you able to check to see if he still owes warrant fees? Here, let me give you
Are you
this.
on the case? Are you on the case?
No, I didn't pull it up because it's written one. Jennifer Ariano Jones, if you would unmute your device, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good afternoon. All right, I have a document that alleges that on March 16th of 2021, at about 6:45 in the evening, here at 5601 Quebec Street here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of harassment. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, I do.
All right, the city attorney says that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he review those elements with you?
Yes, he did.
He also indicates that you and he have arrived at an agreement that we're going to set this for a new court date. Between now and that next court date, if you complete Making Better Choices class, 16 hours of community service, have no contact with Savannah Borrego, and commit no new law violations, when you appear at your next date, if everything is in order, he will dismiss this case. Is this how, or I will dismiss the case. Is this how you wish to resolve your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email. It's going to be either later today or sometime tomorrow. They're going to send you the referral to the people that put on the class. It'll have a deadline on it. It's important that you contact them right away, get the class scheduled and completed. When you're finished, they'll give you a certificate of completion. It's important that you file that certificate with my court on or before the next court date. My clerks will also send you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. You don't need to do it in Commerce City. However, the one requirement I do make is that the place that you pick to do the community service must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Churches, schools, food banks, Meals on Wheels, Salvation Army, ARC, it doesn't matter to me where you do it. So long as the place you pick is a legitimate nonprofit. Make sure they are, do the work, have them fill out the form, get that to us by the next court date. And then the rest of this stuff is fairly straightforward. Stay away from, have no contact with Savannah Borrego, and commit no new law violations. If everything is in order when you come back, I dismiss the case. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, my clerks will email you all you need to know about how to accomplish this order, either later today or sometime tomorrow. If you have no questions, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. All right, if I could have Veronica Calger unmute her device, please.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a document that indicates that you're pleading guilty to committing the offense of theft on March 5th of 2021 at 10:27 in the morning from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street. That's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Starkovich, are you on this matter?
Yes, Judge. I just didn't want to interrupt you because, yeah, we have a disposition, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware that you were on this one. It was no posted or anything. Go ahead and make your entry.
Jacob Starkovich, 32184, appearing on behalf of Ms. Calgar.
All right, the proposed disposition I have is that if she pleads guilty to this theft charge, the city attorney has agreed to recommend that any sentence that I impose be served on in-home detention. It does not appear that there are any other sentencing concessions, or any other disposition. Is that a correct statement?
That is correct.
All right. Mr. Starkovich, would you waive further reading and advisement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Calgar, have you obviously indicated that you understand the nature of the plea, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to speak to Mr. Starkovich regarding the options available to you on this charge?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the service advice and representation that he's given you thus far in this matter?
Yes, sir.
All right. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the charge of theft on March 5th,
Judge,
2000.
may I interrupt?
Yes, sir.
Just one further advisement. It's a collateral consequence, but I'd like it to be stated on the record. Ms. Calgar is currently on probation for a misdemeanor out of Larimer County. And this charge in Commerce City happened after she's been on probation now for 6 months. So we've been talking, or she's been talking with her probation officer, and it's my understanding that they're not sure if they're going to revoke her probation. They said if it's a misdemeanor, then they probably would. If it's an ordinance violation, they might not. So I advised her that that's an issue that I can't really advise her on 100%, but that she's aware that she could face revocation in the Larimer County case.
All right, that is a collateral consequence. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Ms. Calgar, he's correct. This is going to be something completely up to the Larimer County Probation Department and the judge that oversees your case in Larimer County. Condition number one of anyone placed on probation is that you're not to commit any new law violations while on probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this does count as a new law violation, so they could use this as a basis to revoke your probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, is it still your desire to have me go forward with this plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and again, I was asking if you were satisfied with the service advice and representation given you thus far by Mr. Starkovich.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to enter this guilty plea against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the charge of theft on March 5th of 2021, here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Mr. Starkovich, would you waive the necessity of the establishment of a factual basis to support the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I will accept the guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Before I turn to you for mitigation, Mr. Starkovich, give me just a moment. I'm just showing this single entry. Obviously, it's a similar type of offense from Larimer County from 2020. Is that the case that you're referring to, Mr. Starkovich, that she was on probation for?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything by way of mitigation?
Judge, I know she's been on probation now for 6 months in Larimer County. She claims to be doing very well at this time. She's doing her group therapy. She's succeeding on probation outside of this case that she picked up almost 3 months ago now. And I know she was going through a hard time when she picked up this case. If you look at the items, there's some necessity type items that they were trying to get. And when I say there is a co-defendant in the case. I believe he's not set for a couple of months or a month away. I don't know the disposition of his case. That said, Judge, she was working. She lost her job, but she has quite a few applications out to get employment. And I know she is asking for in-home detention and to continue on with her probation in Larimer County. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Calgar, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
At the time, I was still getting high at the time too, and that kind of took my judgment of what I could do and what I couldn't do and made it different. But since then, I have gotten completely sober off of everything, and I'm really trying to better my life instead of keep on the path that I was on.
You don't have to forgive me. They broke up your criminal history into multiple pages, even though there's nothing real significant on it. Yeah, it's all the description pages. As a condition of your probation, or when you were a juvenile, did you ever do a petty theft class?
No, I didn't.
All right. I'm not inclined to send you to jail on this one or even in home detention. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to impose the minimum fine. It's $50 plus surcharges plus court costs. I'm going to impose and suspend all of a 20-day jail sentence. Now, you need to understand, normally when somebody's on probation and they commit an offense, even if the probation doesn't get revoked, I usually send people to jail. That's why Mr. Starkovich worked hard to get an in-home detention alternative for you. But there again, looking at the items that were stolen, looking at your circumstances, I don't really see this as a jail case for this one. But if you violate my order, I will send you to the Adams County Jail for 20 days. So I'm going to impose the 20-day sentence. I'm going to suspend all 20 days because I'm going to order that you do the following. I am going to order that you do a 1-day petty theft class. And I'm going to order that you do 24 hours of use of public service. I'm ordering that you're never to return to the Walmart store here in Commerce City for any reason whatsoever. You've probably been trespassed out of all Walmarts and Sam's Club stores forever. But for my purposes, the only one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City. I'm ordering you never to go back to that one. I'm also ordering you that you're to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations in Commerce City for a period of 1 year. Okay, so what'll happen is my clerks will send you and Mr. Starkovich an email that'll tell you about the $50 fine, plus surcharges, plus court costs, and they'll make payment arrangements for you. They'll send you a referral to the class. You'll have a deadline of about 6 weeks within which to complete the class. Make sure that you contact them right away, get the class scheduled and get it done. Because if you don't do it, I'm going to send you to jail for 20 days. It's really that simple. All right. Make sure that the certificate of completion of the class gets to my court on or before the deadline. If you run into trouble, it's better to ask for an extension than it is to blow it off. Okay? My clerks are going to send you the form we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement I make is that the place that you pick to do it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Don't do it for friends, neighbors, or relatives. Do it for a nonprofit agency. Get the community service done. Have them fill out the form. Get that to the court by the deadline as well. And then the rest shouldn't be a problem. Stay out of the Walmart, stay out of trouble. Now, I can't assure you that you're not going to get revoked from probation. If you do get your probation revoked, contact Mr. Starkovich, because he might convince me to allow any sentence that you get there to run concurrent with the suspended sentence that I have here. And then if you do that, I'll waive the community service in the class. Okay? All right. But in the meantime, I'm expecting you to get the class and the community service done, stay out of the Walmart and stay out of trouble. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Starkovich, is there anything else I need to address on this case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. You guys, you're free to leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Judge, I'm here on Lisa Ross. We have a disposition, but also Charles Thompson, but I need to speak to him in a breakout if possible first.
Well, do you want me to, I mean, Lisa Ross was the next one I was going to call. Do you want me to go ahead and do that one?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, on the record regarding Lisa Ross, this is case number CM 3038084, 303084. The proposed disposition I have, and Ms. Ross, are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay, good. The proposed disposition I show is that there's simply a plea of guilty to the crime of theft from January 29th of 2021 at 6:50 in the evening from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, the Walmart store here in Commerce City. In this case, the city attorney has also made the sentencing concession to no objection to in-home if I determine that custody is appropriate for this case. Is that a correct statement of the disposition, Mr. Starkovich?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ross, do you understand what the proposed disposition is in your case?
Yes.
And is this how you wish to resolve your case by pleading guilty to this charge?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to consult with Mr. Starkovich regarding the options available to you on this charge?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with the service advice and representation that he's given you thus far in this matter?
Yes.
And Mr. Starkovich, would you waive further reading and advisement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Ross, I don't know if I asked you this the last time or not. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
What was that? Sorry again?
Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No.
Okay. With regard to the charge of theft on January 29th of 2021 here in Commerce City, has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to enter this plea of guilty against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the charge, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything by way of mitigation, Mr. Starkovich?
Judge, when you look at Ms. Ross's record, it looks fairly extensive. I spoke with the prosecutor lengthy regarding her record, and it appears that quite a bit on her record is from aliases of other people that weren't able to be verified that they were actually this Lisa Ross. We were able to verify an escape, an accessory, and an attempted robbery. And those 3 felonies look like the 3 felonies on her record, but the other charges were not her. So I know it looks bad initially.
Okay, wait, so let me interrupt you. What I'm showing is a 2010 possession of burglary tools and theft from Broomfield. You're saying that's not her?
Judge, I don't have the copy of the report in front of me. I was just reading it with the prosecutor and Miss Ross, and we went through line by line. So I don't know which one you're looking at now, but it was an escape and an accessory, and then an attempted robbery.
You're right. There's a lot more on here.
So I don't recall ever pleading guilty to burglary or anything back in 2010.
Okay, well, I have a 2010 Broomfield case, a 2011 case out of Greeley. I've got another case out of Morgan County, another case out of Greeley, both from 2011.
The only, like I said, the only 3 felonies I have ever pleaded guilty of are the Fort Morgan case, accessory to a crime, my escape out of Greeley, and my robbery.
It may have been these other cases were rolled into it.
What was that?
Were you sent to prison for the Weld County case? I'm showing a sentence of 5 years to the Department of Corrections from a 2013 case, followed by the escape case, which would be a mandatory 1 year consecutive. So my question to you, Ms. Ross, is did you actually serve time in the Department of Corrections?
Yes, I did. I just killed my number over a little over a year ago.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Starkovich?
Judge, when you looked at the report, it's $17. It was 2 items, and they weren't sure if the wipes were actually stuff that she had taken. The security officers weren't necessarily sure if they had observed her take those wipes or not. And so when the police officers talked to loss prevention at Walmart, they actually initially said they would not prosecute. They just wanted the items recovered, and then they couldn't determine if the wipes were actually part of it. But they did later observe some surveillance camera of the jewelry. So, and she had previously been contacted but not trespassed, so they decided to go ahead and prosecute. And that's kind of where we stand now. She's not on probation. She's not on parole. I know she regrets the situation, and she would appreciate the opportunity to do in-home detention.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ross, anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No,
Are you currently working?
I'm about to be starting a house cleaning job. I'm going through training right now.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to impose any fine. I am going to impose $29 in court costs.
29.
Yeah, there's $29 in court costs I can't waive. It's because I am going to give you a sentence that I will allow you to serve on in-home detention. What I'm going to do is I'm going to impose the following. I'm going to impose a 60-day jail sentence. I'm going to suspend 45 of those days in jail on the following conditions. 1, you need to pay your court costs. 2, you need to successfully complete 15 days of in-home detention. I'll give you a stay of execution on that before you have to start it. I'm going to order that you're never to return to the Walmart store here in Commerce City for any reason whatsoever. I did read in the report that they've served you with a trespass notice, barring you from all Walmarts and Sam's Clubs nationwide. That's between you and them. For my purposes, I only have jurisdiction over the one here in Commerce City. I'm ordering you never to go back to that Walmart store for any reason whatsoever. I'm not going to order any classes. I'm not going to order any community service. I am going to order that you to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations in Commerce City for a period of 1 year. I'm going to give you a stay of execution. Today is May 27th. I want you to do the 15 days of in-home detention beginning no later than 4 p.m. on Thursday, June 17th. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you to make the arrangements to pay the $29 in court costs. They'll give you a referral to the people that are, the company's named High Tech Offender Management. They'll give a notice that you need to do 15 days of in-home detention, starting no later than, like I said, no later than June, what did I say, 17th? No, that can't be right. Yep.
So I need to have my home monitoring done before June 17th.
No, you need to start it on or before that date.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll probably be in there. I don't know if I could come in today and pay the $29.
If you can, that would be great.
Okay.
Is there anything else I need to address on this case, Mr. Starkovich?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so my clerks will send you the email, or if you come in person, they can hand you a copy of the order, Ms. Ross. In any event, you're free to leave the meeting.
Alrighty, thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, Mr. Starkovich, did you say you needed to be put into a breakout room with Charles Thompson?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Okay. Carmen? Okay. They'll take care of that.
Thank you.
Leonardo Candia, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. There's 2 cases for you, so give me just a moment. Okay. The city attorney says that if you plead guilty in case number EP 9628, which is the charge of unlawful parking of large oversized recreational or vehicles or utility trailers on May 25th of 2021 at about 4:44, according to this, in the morning, in there of the 5900 block of Oneida Street, he will dismiss case number 9612, which is the same charge, but from May 17th of 2021, also at about 4 o'clock in the morning, also in the area of the 5900 block of Oneida Street. Is this how you wish to resolve these 2 charges? Okay, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this 1 charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in both cases? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent in both cases unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of these charges against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of either one of these charges, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this 1 charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the charge of having an oversized, large, or recreational vehicle in violation of the city ordinance on May 25th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, there was no warning or any signs on the street that we could park there. I wasn't aware of.
Well, after the one on May 17th, you should have been aware to move it before the May 25th ticket was issued.
Yeah, well, it's not my house, it's a friend's house. And we usually park the truck close to the Melton Street, real close to Commerce City. But since we've been having a lot of theft with our catalytic converters, she asked me if she could take the truck home, and I thought it was okay, since we've been having a lot of theft. And I didn't know anything about the law that came in.
Okay.
back in March.
All right, so do you live in Lakewood then?
I live in Lakewood.
Okay. All right, well, the city council passed this law. They also established a mandatory minimum fine. It's going to be $100 plus surcharges and court costs. You know, you might want to familiarize yourself with where you can and can't park it, but the cold hard reality is where it is just going to cost you a lot more money if you get more tickets, okay? All right, if you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll tell you the total. They'll work out payment arrangements for you. Thank you. Connie Joe Halstead, if you would unmute your device, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Halstead. All right, I have a document that alleges that on March 16th of 2021 at about 6:30 at night from the area 5601 here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of harassment. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The city attorney said that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, he explained to you what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of committing this offense. Did you review those elements with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I have.
And did you also, are you now a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, Your Honor.
All right. He indicates that you and he have arrived at an agreement that we're going to set this for a new court date. Between now and then, if you complete a class called Making Better Choices, 16 hours of community service, stay away from the Subway store that's right there by the what is it, Circle K or whatever it is next to that gas station, and commit have no contact with Savannah Borrego, and commit no new law violations. When you come back, if everything is in order, I can dismiss this case. Is that how you wish to resolve your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me just a moment. All right. My clerks are going to be in contact with you by email. They'll send you a notice of the new court date. It's going to be in about 6 weeks. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. They're going to send you the referral form to the people that put on the class. It's important that you contact them right away so you can get the class scheduled and done before the next court date. My clerks are then also going to send you, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that you bring or get that certificate of completion for the class to us by the next court date. My clerks are also going to give you the form that we use for community service. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not need to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you pick to do the community service must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the community service, have them fill out the form, get that to us by the next court date. And then the rest is to stay away from the Subway, stay away from Savannah Borrego, and commit no new law violations. If everything is in order on the next court date, I'll dismiss the case. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then you can go ahead and leave the meeting. My clerks will email you. They'll email you today or tomorrow with all this information, okay?
You have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too, thank you. All right, Charles, no, I'm sorry, Corey Rowe, if you would unmute your device.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, I have a document that alleges that on May 13th of 2021, at about 8:20 in the evening, in the area of 7985 East 107th Place here in Commerce City, you violated the city ordinance against animal attacks. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
I do.
All right, the city attorney probably had to review the new ordinance with you. Did he go over the elements of that new ordinance with you?
He did.
Okay, good. He says that you want to set this matter over for a pretrial conference to give you an opportunity to review the reports in this case before you make a decision on how to proceed. Is that
That's
how you wish to proceed for today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
I did.
Okay.
And how would I go about retrieving the documents that you made reference to?
Yeah, my clerks are going to email them to you.
Very, very easy. Thank you.
Yep. Actually, what'll happen is that my clerks will email the prosecutor. The prosecutor's legal assistant will email them to you.
Okay.
All right. My clerks are going to send you the notice of the new court date. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks will send you the notice of the new court date. We'll make a note here to have the discovery provided to you so that you have it in time to be able to review it. And then hopefully we'll be able to resolve this at your next court appearance. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting a sign up on mine that says close all sessions. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to.
Yeah, there's the cell phone lady.
I don't know what happened to my laptop. It was blocked right now. It's still in there. I don't know.
Oh man, that's not good. Whatever you switch.
Hello.
All right, Mr. Starkovich, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like Mr. Thompson's already joined us and he's not muted. So court will officially call case number CM 002852227.
Jacob Starkovich, 32184, appearing on behalf of Mr. Thompson as court-appointed counsel. We appear via Zoom.
All right. It looks like all we're doing is setting this matter over for another pretrial conference.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, give me just a second. Okay, obviously, Mr. Starkovich, I'm going to advise you that I will set this matter over for one more pretrial conference. There won't be any additional pretrial conferences allowed on this case after the next one.
I understand.
Okay, thank you. How much time do you need?
Judge, I'm going to ask for 6 to 8 weeks. There's some informal arrangements that we made with the prosecution that Mr. Thompson's going to have to complete a couple of things, and then the prosecutor will consider asking the court to dismiss the case. So that's why we're asking for 6 to 8 weeks.
All right. Yeah, I'm showing that the conditions include that he's to complete 24 hours of use of public service. That hasn't been a prior condition. So I'll go ahead and authorize that. Give me just a second. Let's see. Check your schedule for July 22nd, Mr. Starkovich.
Judge, I am out of state from July 21st to July 26th.
All right, then your choice, the 28th or the 29th of July?
Can I do the 28th, please?
Yep. All right, we'll reset this matter for July 28th, 2021 at 1:15. I'll make a note that not only will we email you and your client the notice of the new court date and time, we'll provide them the community service form. Mr. Thompson, do you understand what it is you're being requested to do?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, my clerks are going to send you not only a notice of the new court date and time, they'll send you the form we use for community service. It's important that you find a place to do the community service. It does not need to be in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that it must be done at a legitimate nonprofit agency. Find a legitimate nonprofit agency that interests you, do the community service, have them fill out the form, make sure we get that on or before the next court date. Hopefully the other issues that are outstanding will get resolved. There is a continuing order for you not to return to 5970 Jasmine Court, have no contact with Jennifer Howe, and obviously, while this case is pending, commit no new law violations. If all of that is in order on the next court date, hopefully we'll be able to resolve it then. Is there anything else I need to address on this case, Mr. Starkovich?
Judge, by July 28th, is that going to be an in-person or are we allowed to both appear by web?
I'm going to allow Zoom until, I have a feeling that we're going to be doing Zoom for everything except trials, pretty much from now on. That's one of the things that I'm going to be reviewing probably at the end of June. So for right now, anything that we're setting is still going to be allowed by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Yeah, and Mr. Starkovich, for right now, I've asked for an update from the Adams County Sheriffs. They're still not transporting from other jurisdictions and they're not holding any of ours. So until that changes, I'm probably not going to require any in-person appearances except for trials. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's nothing else, then my clerks will provide you the information by email either later today or tomorrow. Mr. Thompson, any questions?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any questions.
Okay, then the two of you are free to leave the meeting.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. If she closes, it's going to wipe me out because she's the host. Okay. Okay. Are you Juan Vázquez? Okay. ¿Tú eres la mamá de él? Si me avisan que no habla suficiente inglés para poder ayudar a tu hijo a resolver este caso sin la ayuda de algún intérprete, ¿es verdad? Ok, no tenemos un intérprete aquí hoy. La próxima cita que vamos a tener un intérprete va a ser el día 9 de junio, es un miércoles. ¿Puedes regresar en ese día? ¿Qué te conviene mejor, en la mañana o en la tarde? ¿A las 8:30 o a las 10? ¿Él se levanta tan temprano cuando no tiene escuela? Está bien, lo vamos a poner para las 8:30 en ese día. Si vas a la ventanita que está en el paseo, mis ayudantes te van a dar una noticia sobre esta cita nueva, ¿ok? Gracias. I'm assuming you understood everything I said. Okay, good. So she's going to be getting you up early on June 9th. Make sure you get up early and get here to court by 8:30 that day, okay? Go to the window, see my clerk. Well, I'm still functioning, so I'm going to keep going. All right. Larissa Salazar, if you would unmute your device, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Oh, I need to make a record. I'm sorry. Give me just a moment. For the record, the last juvenile that I just saw, his mother needed the assistance of an interpreter. I was advised that she didn't speak sufficient Spanish to be able to assist her son in resolving his case without the assistance of an interpreter. I asked her if that was correct. She indicated it was. I advised her that we did not have an interpreter available. The next day we would have an interpreter would be on Wednesday, June 9th. I asked if she could return on that date. She indicated she could. I asked her what was more convenient, morning or afternoon. She said morning. I asked her at 8:30 or at 10. She indicated 8:30. I asked her, is it normal for her son to wake up that early on a day he doesn't have school? She indicated to me that she would probably have to wake him up to get him to come to court that early that morning. But so we agreed to go ahead and set it for 8:30 anyway. Advised her or invited her to go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk to get a reminder notice of the new court date and time. I believe that's all I said in Spanish. So her matter was his matter was continued to 8:30 on June 9th. All right, Ms. Salazar, in your case, I have a document that alleges that, do you have a parent there with you?
Yeah, she's right here. Yes.
Okay, hi, are you her mother?
Yes.
Okay, and your name?
Diana De La Garza.
All right. First, Arisa, I have a document that alleges that on April 23rd of 2021, shortly before 9 o'clock in the morning, in the area of 84th and Tower Road, that you were speeding 62 in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
I do.
Okay, it also tells me that you were on a learner's permit with no licensed driver over the age of 21 with you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Condition number one, if you're on a permit, you have to have a licensed driver over 21 with you. Don't make that mistake again, because if you got into an accident, you're driving the car permissively by whoever the owner of the car is, the insurance company doesn't have to cover you. They don't, because you're violating the conditions of your permit that makes you an unlicensed driver for their purposes of insurance. It's a clear way of having them say, no, we're not going to cover the accident, which means then the money comes out of your pocket and your parents' pocket. So you need to be really careful from now on not to violate that condition, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the city attorney says that you and he have worked out an agreement that we're going to set this for a new court date. If you complete the Alive at 25 class, 8 hours of community service, don't commit any further violations, when you come back to court, he's going to reduce the speeding charge from a 4-point ticket to a 0-point ticket. That way you don't lose your permit and it doesn't interfere with your ability to get a regular driver's license when you're eligible. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. De La Garza, I need to see you in the screen, please. That's good. Do you understand the original charge that was filed against your daughter?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand what it is the city attorney is offering your daughter in an effort to resolve this case?
Yes.
Okay, you need to make sure she doesn't get access to a vehicle if she's going to be violating her permit. That puts you at financial risk. Do you understand that?
Yes, and
Okay.
she now.
Okay, let's not do that again. All right, do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting what the city attorney is offering her today?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a moment. And Arisa, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
I did.
Okay, good. All right, when you two leave the meeting, later today or sometime tomorrow, my clerks are going to send you an email. They're going to give you the new court date. It's going to be in about 6 weeks. That way you have plenty of time to get everything done. My clerks are going to send you the referral to the people that put on the class. It's important that you contact them right away. That way you can get the class done before the next court date. It's your responsibility to make sure that certificate of completion gets to me by the next court date, okay?
Okay.
It's your responsibility to do that. My clerks are also going to send you the form we use for the community service. It's, the way I do it is you can do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City, but you must do it at a legitimate nonprofit agency. So find some place that interests you. That way it's less like punishment. You can do it like, if you like little kids, do it at the Boys and Girls Club. If you attend a church, do it at your church. You like animals, do it at an animal shelter or the Wildlife Center. I'm pointing behind my shoulder because that's where the Wildlife Center is. Find something that interests you so it's less like punishment. Make sure it's a legitimate nonprofit agency. Do the work, have them fill out the form, Get that to us on the next court date as well. And then it's really simple. Don't pick up any new tickets. Don't get into any new trouble. If everything is in order on the next court date, you'll be pleading guilty to a 0-point violation, which will not affect your permit, and it will not affect your ability to get your license when due. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Ms. De La Garza, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Oh, no, you got to at least lean in and say that.
No, thank you.
You're fine. All right, you guys can go ahead and leave the meeting, and my clerks will get this to you either later today or sometime tomorrow, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I was just curious, are you done with me and I can leave the meeting as well?
Ms. Ramirez, I don't think I've called your case yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in fact, I'm showing that there's one more before you and then yours, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Micah Day would come forward with the parent. Mr. Candelara, I need you to put your device on mute, please.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon. Give me a second while I pull up the ticket. Micah, how old are you? All right, I have a document that alleges that on April 22nd of 2021 at about 11:30 in the morning in the area of 6160 Kearney Street, it's alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful possession of marijuana. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? All right, the city attorney says that you've already completed the diversion program. In fact, I have the certificate here. And so he's agreeing to dismiss this case against you. All right, are you his parents? Do you understand the charge that was filed against your son? Okay, now you need to understand that this dismissal, it's a one-time thing. We're never going to allow the case to be dismissed again if he picks up another case of this type. Do you understand that? All right. Because of his age, I'm going to expunge it from his general record, but I will always have access to it. Other outside agencies won't because it's going to be expunged because of his age. But if he picks up another ticket here, I will know about it, okay? All right, Micah, when you took the class, did they explain to you what the legal age is to smoke and possess marijuana? What is that? How old are you again? Do you understand why we have a problem with this? Okay, now you need to understand that until you turn 18, I can't send you to jail. So if you pick up another case like this between 18 and 21, what do you think I'm going to do? Sure, because you're getting a free bite of the apple here. This case is being dismissed. It's going to be expunged from everybody except Commerce City Court. You've gotten this chance. You need to understand that we're doing this for your best interest, okay? You may not get that right now, but that's why this is being done. It's like alcohol. If you were 14, I'd be having the same conversation for you. You know, you'd get one time to get the education, then the case gets dismissed. After you turn 18, you pick up another one, I send you to jail. It's really that simple, okay? One thing that people don't understand, especially young people, is you're already in competition with everybody else your age. You know, if you try to go on to college, you're going to be competing with everybody else your age and in your grade and your situation that wants to go to college. If you decide not to go to college and go to work, then when you go to apply for jobs, you're going to be in competition with everybody else your age to get a job. It's really that simple. This one, nobody else is going to have access to. But if you pick up another one, it's going to be part of your permanent record. So if, let's say I'm the dean of admissions at a college and I have you applying and I have somebody who's never picked up a case like this applying for the seat at my college, who's going to get that seat? Absolutely. Let's say I'm an employer. I've got you and I've got a kid with a clean record. Who's going to get the job? The other kid, exactly. You know, you're making these decisions at age 14 that could have a long-term effect on your life. really, I know you don't look that far ahead, but that's really what it comes down to. So when you're tempted or face the possibility of doing something like this again, do a simple cost benefit analysis. These are the positives that I'm going to have possessing it and smoking it, and these are the potential negatives. And then weigh it for yourself. You know, it's like I tell young people with alcohol, somebody hands you a beer and you weigh those consequences, you may decide, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have the beer. In your case, the pot, you know, but you have to understand that there could be consequences for it. And if you decide that it's worth the consequences, then that's on you. Don't complain about what those consequences are. What I'm basically saying is, if you pick up a charge like this after 18 and you appear in front of me, I'm going to tell you, you made the choice to do the pot knowing I could send you to jail. Have a seat in the jury box because you're going to jail. See what I'm saying? And I don't expect to hear any complaints about it. All right? So again, you decide what kind of future you want to have. This one, free bite of the apple. Nobody else will know about it except the Commerce City courts. Case is dismissed. I'm expunging it from your record. When you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they're going to give you a copy of the order of dismissal, and then you are free to leave. Is there anything else I need to address with your son? Yeah, I try to make it as simple and basic and easily to understand as possible. I can't control his decisions probably any more than you can now that he's, you know, getting close to being an adult. But if he understands the consequences, it might affect the decisions he makes. That's all we can hope for, right? Yeah, if you get another one of these before you turn 18, you're not going to get in because it'll be on your permanent record. Right now, they won't have access to this, but if you get another one, they will. Okay, this is a one-time deal. Okay, all right. If you go to the window, see my clerks, they'll give you the order of dismissal, and then you're free to leave. Mhm. Okay, Daisha Ramirez, if you would unmute your device, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Give me just a
Okay.
moment while I pull up your file. All right, let's see what I've got here. All right, I have a document that alleges that on April 13th of 2021, at about 8:20 in the evening, in the area of 16207 East 105th Place here in Commerce City, that you're in violation of the new city ordinance regarding an animal attack. Do you understand the allegation against you?
I do.
Okay, the city attorney says you want to set this matter over for a pretrial conference so that both of you all can get more information before going forward. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and set this out about 30 days. My clerks will send you by email a notice of the new court date and time. And if I'll have them send you I'll have the prosecutor's staff send you the copy of the police reports and notes. I'll probably have my clerks send you a copy of the new ordinance so that you can read it for yourself. It's a little bit more complicated than the old ordinance. But that way you'll have all the information you need to make a reasoned decision on how to proceed. So it'll be in about 30 days that the next court date will happen. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting then.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. we wiped stations? Okay, just do number one, at least for now. All right, Christopher Valera, if you go ahead and come to station number one, please. And I show that you turned 18 on April 28th, is that correct? All right, the document I have says that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, this is a 2-point violation, and attend the Alive at 25 class, the city attorney will dismiss the original stop sign violation, the 4-point ticket, which happened on April 24th of 2021 at about 4:30 in the afternoon in the area of 60th and Monaco Street here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right, I'm going to go over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? You're waiving your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. You understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on April 24th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should consider before I impose the sentence against you? All right, your driving record shows a ticket from May 12th of 2020 in Denver. Is that entry correct? All right, listen carefully to how I'm imposing the sentence. I'm going to impose a sentence against you. I'm going to impose a fine of $120, okay? You're a new driver. You can use this opportunity to improve your driving, and I'm going to give you a big break because of that. I'm going to suspend $90 of that $120, which leaves you $30 fine plus surcharges and court costs. I'm suspending $90 because I'm ordering you to do the Alive at 25 class and ordering you to, no, that's just it, just the Alive at 25. Oops, plus court costs. All right, when you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk, instead of telling you the fine plus surcharges at $120, they're showing you the fines and court costs for $30 that's not suspended, plus surcharges plus court costs on that figure, okay? They're going to give you a referral to the people that put on the Alive at 25 class. They're going to give you a deadline of about 6 weeks within which to complete the class. It's important that you contact those people right away, get the class done. As soon as you get the class done, make sure the original certificate gets filed with my court by the deadline. It's your responsibility to make sure. Make 2 copies. Send one to your insurance carrier, because with these 2 tickets, your insurance rates might go up, and it's a possibility that they'll give you a discount for doing a driving class. The other copy you need to hold on to, because you're right on the number for having your license suspended at DMV. If you pick up another ticket, you're going to want that proof of doing the class when you go down to DMV to try to save your license. All right. So the original comes to the court, copy for your insurance, copy for DMV. And then everything else aside, when you get behind the wheel of a car from now on, what you need to be thinking about is getting to where you're going safely. Don't be in a hurry in your car, ever. If you're late when you get into the car to go someplace, just accept the fact that you're going to arrive late. It's more important that you drive safely than it is to be in a hurry in a car. That's how young people get accidents. That's how young people get tickets, by being in a hurry. Okay? Do you have any questions? All right, go to the windows, see my clerk. Okay, Carlos Candelaran, if you would unmute your device, please.
How's that?
I can hear you. Give me just a second. I just need to pull up your ticket. Okay, I have a document that alleges that on April 2nd of 2021, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of 6560 East 64th Avenue, it's alleged that you committed the offense of trespass. However, the city attorney is dismissing this case against you. So after you leave the meeting, my clerks will send you a copy of the order of dismissal on this case. If you wish to have a record of this case sealed, ask my clerks. They can give you information on how to file a petition to seal the file. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so go ahead and leave the meeting. They'll send you a copy of the order of dismissal either today or sometime by tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Donovan Cobbin, if you would unmute your device.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay, let's see. All right, this case originated back in 2018 when you pled guilty to committing the offense of engaging in disorderly conduct. The last time I saw you was on March 24th of 2021 by Zoom. I vacated the warrant for your arrest. At that time, I ordered you to pay the warrant fees and any outstanding fines and costs. You were to complete the Making Better Choices class. And then we set the date for a due date of May 12th for you to pay the fines and costs, the warrant fees, and provide proof that you're completing the class. When I didn't receive that, I actually waited until it looks like the following week before I issued the warrant for your arrest. Did you get the class done?
Yes, sir. I did get the class completed.
Okay. Have you provided that to my court in any way?
I have not. I called today to try and provide it, and that's when I found out today that I had a warrant. That's
Sure.
why I'm
Yeah, because the deadline passed.
Right, correct. That's why I'm on the docket now.
Okay, do you have a means of either emailing it to us or faxing it to us or dropping it by?
I can email it.
All right, let's do that. I'll cancel the warrant for your arrest. Have you ever taken care of paying the fines and costs that we're doing owing on this case?
I have not. I planned on paying the fines tomorrow. I have the sheet for the fine right here, right next to me.
Okay, well, it probably doesn't include the warrant fee from 2 weeks ago. So add $50 to whatever that says.
Okay, so the original fee that I have is $194.
Okay, so now it's $244.
Okay,
All right, so I'll go ahead and cancel the warrant. That'll be taken care of today. I'll make a note that you've done the class. I'm going to require you to submit the proof and to pay the fines and costs. I'm actually going to give you a little bit of time. Today is the 27th. I'll give you until June 10th to get that proof to me and to get all of this taken care of. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
What email address will I send that to?
Which email address do you want them to send proof of completion of the class? Court 3, right? Okay, at c3gov.com. Okay, it's court, C-O-U-R-T, the number 3, at the letter C, the number 3, gov, G-O-V.com. Go ahead and repeat it back to me.
I have court, the number 3 at c3gov.com.
Correct.
Okay, and then that's $240 and email the certificate.
Correct. My clerks are going to send you an email, which will, again, show you the new deadlines for turning that stuff in and verifying what we just went through today. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Mr. May fall down?
I did, and I looked up because I heard somebody saying help, help, and I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I heard them fall, but I couldn't see anything because it was around the corner.
So Mr. May was here on 2 black vehicle tickets. And he apparently took a crash behind the door. So-
Brendan?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
He's not one of these.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to be put in a breakout room, so hold on for just a second.
Okay.
That's about the same. Yeah.
One of these tickets, no one knows what happened to it last April. very disappointed. And talk to you about it ad nauseam. So, and maybe Alma can explain, but anyway, we had a ticket last April. Apparently our system just shows it was sent to Jackie to do an amendment and then nothing.
Court's on the record regarding Brandon Green. Are you able to hear me, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, this is case number CM 00298-507. This is a case that occurred back on April 6th of 2020. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this case at this time. I don't believe a default ever entered on this case, so I'm going to go ahead and just dismiss it completely. When you signed in, you were given an email, you gave us an email address. I'll have my clerks email you a copy of the order of dismissal. Okay?
Okay, and then the only question I have is, was this sent through as a points thing? Because there's a pending OJW on my license for exceeding the points. So I wanted to know how I go about getting that taken care of.
Now, hold on a second. I'm going to have to pull up your case.
Okay.
Because I don't think we issued a block against your license.
Not that I've seen, but I know that there's one on my license for exceeding the 12 points.
Oh, no, I get that. But what I'm saying is, since we didn't do anything with this one, it's probably not this ticket that caused you to exceed the points.
Okay.
And so if we didn't do it, there's nothing we can do about it.
Makes sense.
Okay, so hold on for just 1 second. I'm pulling up your record now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a prior history in my court, but in terms of this careless driving ticket, we didn't do anything with it. And I don't show the order of suspension. So you'll need to contact DMV and see what they're showing is the basis of the suspension of your driving privilege, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, yeah, it's not us. All right, good luck. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
All right, you have a good day.